Hello, my name's June and I work with Everyday Magic Storytellers, and I am going to tell you a story. Once upon a time, the little hen, she went to her nest and she made it all nice and comfy and warm and cosy, and then she sat on it. And she went bark, 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 and that was one, bark, bark, and that was two, bark, bark, and that was three, bark, four, bark, five, bark, six, bark, seven, bark, eight, bark, nine, bark, 10. And 10's enough for any hen. And when she got out of the nest, she looked at the nest, and there in the nest there were 10 beautiful brown eggs. She was so happy, and she lifted up her feathery bottom and she sat on them. Now, if you were to go into your kitchen and open the fridge and get out an egg and put it on the seat and sit on it, well, what would happen? The egg would crack and you'd get a really messy bottom, and your mum would say, "Don't sit on the eggs." But with hens, it's all right, because their bottoms are fluffy and soft and warm, and when they sit on the eggs, it keeps the eggs cosy and safe. The little hen, she sat on the eggs for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then she heard a little sound, and it went tap, tap, crack, tap, tap, crack, and she jumped off her nest, and there, cracking their way out of the first 2 eggs, there were 2 little cheep, 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 cheepy cheep chicks. Oh, she was so pleased. She said, "My lovely little chicks, you are my children, and I love you dearly. I am old and wise, and you are young and foolish, and I am your mother, and you must do as I say. Little chicks, you can go and play, but you must not play any further than the chicken's pen, and you must not play any further than the farmer's house. Will you remember that?" And the chicks all said, "Cheep, cheep." And that means, "Yes, Mum." Off they went. Run to the farmhouse, run to the pen, run, little chickens, back to Mother Hen. There were 2 little chickens, they were looking for some more. Tap, tap, crack, tap, tap, crack. And out popped another 2, and then there were 4. The 4 little chickens were so happy to play together, and the mother hen gave them the rules: no further than the pen, no further than the farmhouse. Run to the farmhouse, run to the pen, run, little chickens, back to Mother Hen. But now there were 4 of them. The 4 little chicks had such a nice time. They got a bit naughty, and they started playing tricks. They pecked the worms, and they chased the beetles, and they tickled each other under the wings. 4 little chickens playing lots of tricks. Along come another 2, and that makes 6. Run to the farmhouse, run to the pen, run, little chickens, back to Mother Hen. And now there were 6 little chickens playing lots of tricks, and after that, after all that chasing worms and beetles and tickling, they started to feel a little bit tired, so they all climbed up onto the gate to have a little cheep, 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 little snooze. 6 little chickens sitting on the gate. Along come another 2, and that makes 8. Run to the farmhouse, run to the pen, run, little chickens, back to Mother Hen. And now there were 8 little chickens. And they all snuggled up to their mother hen, and she looked at them all proudly. But she said, hang on a moment. 8, 8, 8's not right. 8 little chickens, they love their mother hen. Along come the last 2, and that makes 10. Run to the farmhouse, run to the pen. Run, little chickens, back to mother hen. Run to the farmhouse, run to the pen. Run, little chickens, back to mother hen. Run to the farmhouse. Run to the pen. Run, little chickens, back to mother hen. And now the mother hen, she called them all to her. She said, chick, 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 chickens, come along. And cheep, 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 they came running. And she said, now, my chickens, did you have a nice time playing? And they all said, cheep, cheep, cheep. And that, if you don't know, means, yes, Mum, we did. She said, what did you do? What did you play? And they all said, cheep, 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 cheep. And if you don't know what that means, well, it means just the same things as you play when you're in the playground. Well, said the mum, that's the end of playtime, and now it's time for bed. And all 10 of the little chickens, they climbed into the nest, and the mother hen, she opened up her big wide wings, and she sat down, covered them over as though she was covering them with a duvet. And the last I heard was this. Cheep, cheep. Cheep, cheep. And they were all fast asleep.
I know something you don't know. Cluck the little red hen. Cockerels know the break of day. They know when the sun is arising, lighting up the day. The sun is arising, lighting up the day. I know something you don't know. Cluck the little red hen. I know the break of shell. I know when chicks will be hatching, breaking out of the egg. Chicks will be hatching, breaking out of the egg.
Well, that was one of my favourite stories, so I hope you liked it too.